Hey guys, I'm Sarah. I'm a season ticket holder for the Arizona Coyotes, and this is my reaction to the games. So on game days where there is a game in Glendale, I will be doing a reaction about an hour after the game, since it takes me about an hour to get home. Um, on days where it's on TV, I'll be a little quicker, unless I'm working. So basically tonight, everything went terribly wrong. The defense was bad. The D pair of Connor Murphy and Chris Summers needs to never happen again. Yandel was terrible. Oliver Ekman-Larsson was terrible. McCulloch was terrible. Stone had a couple really bad line changes that caused a couple goals. Yeah. The defense was just bad. The goaltending was terrible. Mike was very bad tonight. I was reading some of his post game comments. He said he wasn't feeling comfortable in net. And hate to break it to you, that's your job. Um, I know it's the first game of the season, but it's the Jets. You know that they have your number every time we play them. Not we, sorry. They play them. You need to focus. There were two goals in about 15 seconds right off the face-off. And it was really hard to watch. First period took about an hour to play. Lots of penalties. Lots of BS penalties and lots of real penalties. Shane got into a fight. Uh, so, that kind of tells you the state of the team when the captain, who rarely gets into fights, snaps. And he punched Blake Wheeler in the face pretty good. And, yeah, good thing that he got Wheeler down in two punches because, wow. They were trying to stop everything from happening. Also, Oliver, what the hell? You gain 10 pounds and you think you're a badass. Don't go after Andrew Ladd. He's way bigger than you. Yeah, that was really entertaining. 2 minutes for roughing Oliver. Still not a 5-minute major. You'll get it one day for this season, I'm pretty sure. Um, the forward lines weren't too terrible. The first line of Bodker, Vermette, and Doan was actually very productive. They had a lot of shots on goal. They weren't terribly negative in the minus column. Mikkel's goal was amazing. I mean, perfect rebound out from Pavlik because that's what Pavlik does. Rebound control, he has none, but we couldn't bury any of those other chances. But Mikkel's top shelf, perfect. Oh, beautiful. And there was this amazing save from Smith. But yes, you can have an amazing save, but you need to be able to win the game. He didn't give them any chance to try to win. It was 4-1 going into the second period, and they got a shorty in the third, and it just... The team looked defeated already at the end of the first period, but it was a long period, and it is what it is. Our second line of Erat, Hansel, and Moss is kind of up in the air for me. He's a good penalty killer, but not a second liner. They looked okay. Marty won most of his face-offs tonight, and Marty's a very good center, and he looked better than he did last year. So I think him getting back into better shape this season really, in the off-season, really helped him, but we'll see. Gagne playing center for Klinkhammer and Korpkoski. Interesting. Sam's not a shutdown center. That's more of a Vermette role or a Hansel role. They need to plate Sam in a place where he doesn't need to worry about being the defensive center for a little while. I would like him to play with Marty. That might be the best option. Or maybe even throw him up with Vermette and put Doan down. Um, it worked last year with Dome being in the lower lines, but that's because of the whole Ribiero situation, and we're just not going to talk about that. Our fourth line, they were okay today. Could have been worse. I do like Joe Vitale. He was a good pickup. He was a fairly good pickup. He's so fast. And there were a couple times where he just overskated because he wasn't planning on them. Ice vision is little, they need to work on it. No one's seeing a step ahead. And I know that he's used to players that can do that or be freakishly 6 steps ahead. Talking to you, Crosby. But yes, they lost their firepower over the summer. Buying out Ribiero was probably the best thing. Word around the arena, I'm just going from what I have heard from my sources there. It was really bad. It was really, really bad with Ribiero in the room. It caused a lot of strife between players. You could kind of tell at open practices that they stopped talking to each other, even just to communicate on the ice. It was not good. Losing Verbata does really suck. He worked so well with Marty, and it's going to be a hard loss to overcome. And hopefully we can pick up a top 6 forward. A winger for Marty, a proper winger for Marty, because Martin Erat is not it. He was in -4 tonight. He was bad. He caused a lot of the mistakes that led to goals, and that's just not going to work. He's a 4, I think he's 4.25 cap hit. I would rather trade that for a top 6 forward. We have draft picks. We have. It's just it's frustrating. I know this team can be good. It's almost the exact same team as last year, without our top score, without people putting up points. And I think Mikkel can do it. It's going to take a little time because it's boggling. The power play situation it was a good setup. It's still beginning of the season, so I know special teams is kind of weird for everybody. Our PK was fantastic. We killed a 5-on-3. They scored shortly after that, but they killed the majority of the 5-on-3, and that was useful. Also, if you don't know, knocking the net off unintentionally is now a 2-minute penalty for a delay of game. We learned that today with Martin Erat. Oh, hey, another thing. That was really weird. We were all very confused. Also, I hope Evander Kane's okay, because, wow, that hit was scary. Knee on knee with his own teammate. I had to ask the person sitting next to me going, was it a red jersey or was it a white jersey that hit him? It was his own teammate. So hopefully he's okay. I saw him take another shift after the hit. Like, I saw him get back on the ice, and then I looked at his ice time, and I thought I had seen him more. So I'm wrong, but I really hope he's okay. But the Jets seem to do okay without him. But if he's out for a long time, that's going to come back to bite them. I did see that Bob McKenzie tweeted that they were going to have to do an MRI on him. So hopefully that'll come back. But yeah, final score, Winnipeg Jets 6, Arizona Coyotes 2. And yeah, we play the Kings on Saturday. Sorry, I'll try to break that habit. They play the Kings on Saturday. The Kings got jackboot stomped by the Sharks, and we got jackboot stomped by the Jets. 2 angry teams who already don't like each other coming in to play each other it's going to be a chippy game anyways. There are some things from the preseason that are going to bleed over. Jordan Nolan is a major thing. If you don't know why the Coyotes don't like Jordan Nolan, I'd be happy to explain that to you, and I can add a little more to it now too. But last season really kind of cemented why the Coyotes hate this kid, and he needs to not play when they come in. But yeah, I want to believe in this team. I really do. I'm investing a lot of time and money into this team to watch. I love these guys. These guys are amazing, and it's hard. It was really hard to sit through the last 2 periods of that game, but I'm here. I'm dedicated, and everyone loves the underdog. It's hard. It's very, very hard, but we'll see what happens on Saturday. If there's no changes on Saturday, like if Hodgman's not in the lineup and they don't put Schlemko back in, there's going to be some problems, and hopefully we can make that not happen. So that's it for me. I don't have the fancy editing down just yet, so I will cut that off here, and you can leave comments down in the YouTube. You can leave YouTube comments. You can tweet me. I'll put it in the underbar because trying to say it on here is too weird. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. I'd like to see what Coyotes fans are thinking for this season. We cannot tank for McDavid. We cannot afford to tank for McDavid, and we don't need another center or defenseman. We need wingers, and we need people who can play in our system. Do you think Tippett's the problem? Do you think it's our coaching? Do you think it's how we're drafting? Do you think it's how the team was built? Should they have gone young? Should this be a rebuild? Should Shane have left 2 years ago? Tell me what you think. I'd love to find out what other Coyotes fans are thinking right now, because I know a lot of people are hitting the panic button, and it's game 1. All right, that's it for me. Have a great night.